Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And alright guys, it's time to break down Bellator 208, Fedor versus Sonnen. I did not realize this was a doubleheader for Bellator this week. I thought Bader versus Mitrione was going to be this Friday, and I thought Fedor versus Sonnen was next Saturday. Turns out they're both coming up this weekend. So, got to make sure we get this card broke down and predicted as well. Let's jump right into it. First fight of the night is going to be between Henry Corrales and Andy Main. I got Henry Corrales, who's on a 3-fight winning streak after losing his first 3 fights in Bellator. He's got wins most recently over Georgi Karakanyan and Noad Lawat, who I believe both are tougher competition than Andy has fought today, and possibly even Andy himself, who does have a notable win over Brian Kelleher back in 2014. Also, Corrales has been a lot more active in the last 3 years, so I got Corrales. Moving to the heavyweight fight, next up, Czech Congo versus Timothy Johnson. I'm actually taking Timothy Johnson in this fight to get this win in his Bellator debut. He's been fighting tougher competition in the last 2 years, and he's also 10 years younger than Czech Congo, who is currently riding, I believe, a 7-fight winning streak. Also, Timothy Johnson will have a size advantage in this fight, which I think he'll use to try and out-grapple Czech Congo, even if it means an ugly war of attrition in the clinch, or grind him out against the fence. I think Timothy Johnson could do that en route to like a decision win here over Czech Congo. Would be tough for Timothy Johnson, but I think he can get it done. So I'm picking Timothy Johnson, man. Moving on, we got, this one. Ooh, this is going to be a fight that I got to watch. I don't know. This was the hardest fight for me to call. It was between this one and the Johnson-Congo fight that we just talked about. But I got Alexander Shlemenko, you can see, taking on Anatoly Tokov. And both of these guys are amazing Russian fighters. I mean, relatively unknown, unless you're a hardcore fan. But Anatoly Tokov is no joke. Now, their records are really good, and yeah, they might be a little padded, but these guys are still talented MMA fighters for sure. Anatoly Tokov is part of Team Fedor, and he's 2-0 in Bellator, only losing one of his last 20 fights, and he lost that fight to Ramazan Emeev, who's currently kicking ass in the UFC. Alexander Shlemenko, he's only 34 years old with 67 pro fights. After this fight, he will literally have double the pro fights of his age. That's crazy. And out of those 67 pro fights, he's got 56 wins. But he is currently riding a 2-fight losing streak after almost beating Gegard Mousasi after injuring his eye. But recently, he got KO'd in the first round in an M1 kickboxing match. But I'm actually going to give the edge to Alexander Shlemenko. I think he's going to be the toughest fighter Tokov has ever fought, aside from Ramazan Emeev. And both of their records, like I said earlier, yeah, they're impressive, a little padded, but still they do have some impressive wins. It's not like they fought all cans in their career by any means. Shlemenko's chin may be deteriorating with all that mileage on it, but both of these guys, even matchup, I feel like, but I think both of these guys have fought some tough guys in their career, but I for sure think Shlemenko will be Tokov's one of his toughest matches to date. So, toss-up fight here. Wouldn't be surprised if you picked Tokov, Anatoly Tokov. Both of these guys I think are going to be contenders in the middleweight division. I mean, Bellator's middleweight division with these guys and Mousasi and Lyoto Machida now and fucking Rafael Lovato Jr. I mean, there's some talented middleweights over at Bellator. So, with that being said, we'll move on to the next fight. I got Shlemenko in that fight. Next, we've got Saad Awad taking on Benson Henderson. Saad Awad is currently riding a 4-fight winning streak with wins over decent mid-level Bellator lightweights. Benson Henderson's 2-2 in his last 4 fights, only losing 2 split decisions to Michael Chandler and Patricio Pitbull, 2 of Bellator's best lightweights, and he finished Patricio Pitbull and Roger Huerta. So I'm picking Benson Henderson to win this fight. I think he's slightly younger and more experienced, and also he's fought tougher competition recently and throughout his career. So I got Benson. Moving on to the main event, we got Chael Sonnen, the American Gangster, taking on Fedor Emelianenko. Fedor is 3-1 in the last 4 years. He's widely recognized as one of mixed martial arts' greatest fighters of all time. Chael Sonnen's 2-1 in the last 3 years, and he's currently riding a 2-fight winning streak over Wanderlei Silva and Rampage Jackson. But I'm going to give the edge to Fedor, man. Actually, I think Chael could pull off the upset, though. I think he could. I'm giving the edge to Fedor, but if Chael comes in here and out-wrestles Fedor, I would not be 100% surprised. Chael's going to come in here. He's not going to be way smaller than Fedor, so I think the size difference is going to be a little less than you might think. And I think Fedor also has a lot going for him in the fact that Chael Sonnen's not a full-time MMA fighter. Full-time MMA, see what I did there? Chael Sonnen, of course, has his podcast, ESPN gig, which he's been picking up the pace there, commentating. He's his own damn promoter and grappling at some points. Plus, he has a YouTube channel. Plus, he has a family. Boy, the fact that Chael was even able to win his last fight against Rampage is kind of impressive when you think about all the shit he does. Fucking grinder for real out there. But with that being said, it's not like he has to really... I mean, of course, he's got to get in fight shape and prepare for the fight, but we know Chael Sonnen's game plan, right? To win this fight, all he really needs to do is not get knocked out and hold Fedor down. He could potentially earn a decision that way, but I think Fedor is going to be able to get the job done. I think he might even knock Chael out. We did see Chael get rocked by Rampage, I believe, and Wanderlei. I think they both set him down in their respective fights. At least Wanderlei for sure. So either way, I think Fedor could connect with Chael. He's going to be a little bigger, but I still think Chael will probably have the wrestling advantage of this fight. I mean, we'll see what happens. But that's another thing. I think Fedor is more well-rounded. Not only can he knock you out or win a decision, he can also submit you, man. Fedor Emelianenko, he's a well-rounded fighter. I'm giving him the edge as the more experienced heavyweight. We'll see. If Sonnen wins this thing, that's going to be crazy. He'll be making it to the heavyweight tournament finals. Winner of this fight goes on to fight the winner of Bader versus Mitrione. We'll also know the winner of that by this weekend, so that's going to be dope. With that being said, man, it is what it is. It is the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix semifinal weekend. We got the doubleheader, and this event is going down Saturday. We will be doing a live fight companion this Saturday, so make sure you tune in to the companion when the fights are on. It's going to be lit, man. It is what it is. Let the full-time family know what you think in the comments. What are your predictions for Bellator 208, Fedor versus Sonnen? I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.